Hey everybody, welcome. My name's Kelvin Ma. I'm from Remote Scale, and today I just want to talk to you about two hidden Airbnb search ranking factors that you're probably not aware of just because they're not laid out anywhere else on your web page except for inside of the code. And so to kick things off, I just want to tell you one single quote that's really relevant to this specific video, and that quote is, "What gets measured gets managed." And that's from supposedly Peter Drucker, who is a business management philosopher. But the essence is that the reason why we want to pay attention to this is because Airbnb is doing this for specific reasons, right? They're doing this because the codes in there are there for a specific reason, and these specific search ranking factors that I'm going to show you, these two specific search ranking factors, they're in there for a specific reason. And Airbnb, they care a lot about site speed, right? So the more code that goes into their site, it kind of slows things down, and it doesn't make for a good user experience at the end of the day. And well, the number one thing that they care about besides site speed and usability of the website is just having quick bookings, right? So another reason why we want to pay attention to this is just because there's a limited amount of listings that are shown by Airbnb, right? So Airbnb has, they've got, usually every search that you run is going to have around 18 listings, and then you're going to have about 17 pages of results. Rarely are people going to go through all 17 pages, but that's, about 306 listings in there. So it's just, more and more important for you to realize the things that affect your visibility and in turn affect your actual bookings, right? So Airbnb has stated in a couple different videos from their search team or their search engineers that they try and actually help a visitor or a traveler or a guest or however you want to call it make a decision in 3 days. Okay, so that's their goal. They want to get the person from the first search of what they're looking and then have a decision made in 3 days, or have a booking at least in 3 days. So those are the reasons why you should care. And those hidden ranking factors that I'm going to talk to you about are going to be the guest satisfaction. It's called guest satisfaction, and I'm actually not 100% sure what makes up the guest satisfaction ranking score. It's just a number at the end of the day, but from my assumption, it's going to be based on the accuracy, communication, cleanliness, location, check-in, and the value scores that you get from guests that have stayed with you previously. Okay, so all of that is going to correlate into a specific number that you can use and you can measure, right? So because, right now you're only really given stars, right? So the better you are at actually seeing the specific number, the more you can make an effort to improve all these different things that correlate into guest satisfaction, or what we think correlates into guest satisfaction. And the second hidden ranking factor is the time since the last calendar update. And I know that's kind of weird, right? Because you don't really think about that, but that's something that's inside of the code on the web page that they're actually looking at, and they're measuring and basically ranking you on specific factors. And one of those factors happens to be the time since your last calendar update. Okay, and so how we're going to find those hidden scores really quickly is, number one, we're going to look at the hidden listing, or not look at the hidden listing. We're going to look at your listing specifically, and then we're going to track down the source code. So that's just the HTML code and the CSS code that goes into the background. I know, sorry if that doesn't make a lot of sense, but basically it's just the code that goes in the background. But I'm going to show you really quickly and really easily how to find that and how to make sense of it, really. And then the third thing is we're just going to go and we're going to search for those specific ranking factors. Now I'm going to show you these few steps in Google Chrome, just because that's what I know. If you're using Internet Explorer, it's going to be somewhat of a similar process, but I only know Google Chrome at the end of the day, so that's just what we're going to be going through. But hopefully someone in the video or someone in the comments is going to be able to help you guys with how to do it through Internet Explorer. And so let's get to that specific section really quickly here. Hey guys, so welcome back into my computer, basically. So right now you are seeing what I am looking at right now. Before we move on, I just forgot to mention in the previous cut, basically, of this video, is that I forgot to say thanks to Nick Child. Nick Child is a person who actually showed me this this specific hidden search ranking factor. Okay, so without him, this video would not be made. So all the credit basically goes to him at the end of the day. He's the one we were talking through email, and he's like, "Hey, check this cool thing out," and I was like, "Man, I gotta tell people about this." At the end of the day. So getting back to the video, right now you are looking at a screenshot of an Airbnb listing that you would see essentially on your screen. Okay, so how you'd go and find your own listing is you go into host, right? You go into the host tab and you go into listings, and then you press the preview button, right? And that's normally how you find your Airbnb listing. So, but this isn't gonna quite work for this specific exercise, we'll call it, to find those hidden search factors. So what we need to do is we need to go pop up the preview for this, but we need to go and we need to copy and paste this and find the actual the true web page, basically. So I'm going to take the URL, copy, so that's Command C, at least on a Mac, and then I'm going to go into an incognito window, which basically just doesn't allow for any personalization of what you'll see. So go into here, paste the URL, and then delete everything after the question mark. Well, actually up to the question mark there. So delete the question mark and then press enter. Okay, so right now you're gonna see kind of like what a normal guest will see. So it's not, they can't edit anything. There's no like, edit the listing, etc., etc., because you are not, you don't, that the guest wouldn't own the listing, so they can't actually edit it, right? So this is what they would see on their end, okay? And this is what Airbnb shows them as well, right? So really quickly, let's go and find these factors, these search ranking factors that are hidden inside of the code. So press inspect, right click and then press inspect here at the bottom, right click, inspect, and then press Command F or Control F on a Windows there, and then type guest underscore satis, well, SAT. So it's going to be supposed to be guest underscore satisfaction, but you don't need to type the whole thing because it's going to highlight this entire thing for you. Okay, so what you'll do here is you'll actually go and you'll right click on this little area that it's highlighted there for you, and then press copy element. Okay, so I'm going to copy this element, but I'm actually not going to paste it for you just because I already did it, and it actually takes a little bit because it's so long that it takes a couple seconds, which is just not worth it to film in the video, even though I probably just talked for that entire time. But so anyways, so what you do is you would go and you would open up a Google document or a Word document, or however you paste things on your computer. I like to use Google Docs just because it's free and it's cloud based and all that cool stuff. But so yeah, so what you do is you just go and you'd open up a blank document and you just press Command V or Control V, and it would paste all of that code that you just copied. And essentially it looks like this, and it's a lot. It's 116 pages of code, which is not fun at the end of the day, right? So what makes it easier for us to do in here is that we can go and we can search for that word exactly again, guest satisfaction in here, and it's just going to be a lot easier for us to read. And I've kind of gone ahead and I've well, here I'll kind of go and do this. So guest satisfaction. Okay, so right here I actually went in ahead and I highlighted these two specific ranking factors that we're looking at, and there's actually a whole bunch of different things that the Airbnb is measuring here, but I thought that these two were kind of the more they weren't really well known, and they're not kind of displayed anywhere on your web page either, or your Airbnb listing, so that you never actually know that this is something that they're measuring for you guys, right? Behind the doors, behind the scenes, this is inside of the code that they're having a look at, and through that they're going to measure on how they're going to show your listing up to and for people that are actually looking for different things, right? So so the first one again is guest satisfaction here, and this one actually has a rating of 93. This isn't actually my listing. This one is actually located in New York here. I just did it as a quick example, but yeah. So this specific guest satisfaction is overall 93. Okay, so that's I think that's actually okay. It could definitely be a lot better. Like mine was 99, and Nick, the one who showed me this initial thing, he was the one. He said that his was 100, right? So I still got some work to do, and I think it probably gets harder and harder to get back up to that actual 100. But now you know what guest satisfaction. The actual number that they're giving towards you, right? Because they don't put this in here for absolutely no reason, right? So they're doing this to measure you against other listings. All right, so I'll say that again. They're using guest satisfaction overall to measure you against other listings. All right, so and the second one that I thought was really interesting was the time since the last calendar update. Okay, I don't know what the heck these numbers mean. I'm assuming they definitely mean like some sort of time there, but at the end of the day, this is something that they're also looking at, which was kind of surprising to me, right? So they're actually looking at the last time you updated your calendar, right? So if you're more if you take a little bit more effort in updating your calendar and readjusting things and just messing around with stuff and kind of showing that you are paying attention and that you care about your listing because you're being a little bit more proactive in attracting in attracting the in attracting the folks on Airbnb that are traveling by actually updating your calendar to cater to those folks, then that's something that they're looking at, which I was a little surprised about. So that's kind of the end of the video here. So again, the two search ranking factors that are hidden inside of the code that I thought that were really, really interesting beyond all these other types of ones that you can actually look at as well. So there's also save to wish list count, which was pretty interesting, but I think a lot of people know about that one and have kind of tested it out. So these two are the ones that I don't think a lot of people knew about, right? So guest satisfaction overall, and also the time since the last calendar update. All right. So again, my name's Kelvin Ma. I'm from Remote Scale. We help Airbnb hosts kind of get better listings and get more results from their Airbnb business. All right. So. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions or comments or whatever it is, just leave a message or leave a comment, I guess, under the bottom, wherever you're seeing this video. All right. So thanks a lot and have a good day, guys.